Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? I'm doing good, despite the fact that I started this week off with a wrong pick. I was talking all that shit yesterday. All that shit about how, you know what? Yeah, I've been hitting that on Thursdays, getting them all right. And oh yeah, the Bills, they're gonna roll. They're gonna roll the Houston Texans. The Texans ain't shit. Yeah, that shows you what I know. I tell you, I'll be right and I'll be wrong. The Texans, honest, bro, here's the thing. The Texans have the number one defense in the league, and if you did not know that before the game yesterday, you definitely knew that by the end of yesterday because they said that shit every other sentence. Like, oh my god, it's like, yeah, man, it's a good game. Do you know the Texans have the number one defense in the league? Oh man, you got to see how that boy Mills. Did you know the Texans have the number one defense in the league? Josh Allen is such a beast, but the number one defense in the league belongs to the Houston Texans. It's like all game. That's all we heard. And I'm like, bro, why are they 5-5? When you look at that shit, it's like the number one defense in the league being 5-5 is crazy. But then that just to me just is a testament to like, yeah, CJ Stroud and the offense just haven't been what we all hoped they would be or what they needed to be this year so far. I mean, he's been hurt, so it's like don't put so much on trying to kill CJ. But even when he wasn't hurt and he was out there, they were looking pretty scary and pedestrian at times, and we're just losing games that it's like, Jesus, what are y'all doing? But when you look at their schedule and honestly how their defense plays, it's like, bro, like they should have at least like two more wins. Like they won last night, so they're now 6-5. Don't get me wrong, but it's like I could easily see them being like 8-3 right now, as opposed to being 6-5 right now. So it's just kind of crazy in one of those seasons that I know that I mean, if this all shakes for them in the end, it'll be cool. But if it ends up not going the way they want it to, they're gonna be like, "Dang, bro! Like we kind of maybe missed out on an opportunity because this is the year where like a lot of people in the AFC aren't looking as good as people normally would expect them to look. So it's like this would have been one of those years that they could have messed around and I don't know, won the AFC and got to the championship. Who knows? Because I mean, I love the Chiefs, and I still believe that my boy Patty's gonna do what he needs to do and figure it all out before everything's all done. But I mean, that's the thing. Crazier shit has happened. You know what I'm saying? To where we had a year where the Bengals went to the Super Bowl. So it's like, who knows? Anything could happen. That's why it's like, and this year we might have another team that's not the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl as well again. So that could have been Houston had CJ had better luck with his health this year, and they just looked a little better in some of those earlier games. But it's not over yet. There's still a few weeks, so it's like they could still shake the way that they need to. But we shall see. Moving to the Bills, though, like what the fuck were you guys doing? Like that line was just getting abused, and as a result of it, Josh Allen was getting abused all game as well too. He got sacked. What was that? I think it was 8 times to like break the record of like the majority of times he's been sacked. It was funny because it was like when they got to 5 sacks, they were like, "This is the most times he's been sacked since whatever game like 2 years ago." Then when he got sacked 6 times, it was like this is the most times he's been sacked since this game or whatever, since this divisional game, whatever. And then when he got sacked 7 times, they were like, this is tied for the most times that he's ever been sacked. 3 other times he's been sacked 7 times. So it's like, damn, they're gonna break a record. Then they sacked his ass one more time, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was, or there's some bullshit that they made. No, I'm not mistaken. They took that as it was an 8 sack, so it's like they broke the record last night on like the amount of sacks that Josh Allen has taken in his entire career. So that should just tell you how good that defense is and how beat up that line of the Buffalo Bills was getting. And it's just like, damn, bro, y'all be doing this shit all the time. It's like when I believe in y'all and I pick y'all to win, you do this bullshit. Shout out to my boy James Cook, though. He balled his ass off, and so did Khalil Shakir. I was talking so much shit about Khalil because he wasn't doing a whole ass thing for the first couple of quarters, but then eventually he turned that shit around. So shout out to him. I'm actually looking pretty good in my fantasy weeks already. Look terrible on my picks already, but that's cool. We can make up for that shit on Sunday, but looking good in fantasy already and need to keep looking good because, we only got like a couple more weeks. So I got to do everything I got to do. I got to win in all 4 of my leagues, man. There's one league that I'm already out of that shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. So it don't even matter, but I do want to still wreck some people's like seeding and everything. So yeah, got to do as good as I can. You know what I mean? Yeah, but The Bills, bro, like y'all be doing this shit, man. Now look at you. It's like you still behind because like they needed to win this game to only be one game behind New England and still have a chance of somewhat catching them for the division. But now y'all are 2 games behind them. So basically, you've already lost to them in the division. Once. I think they do play them one more time. So technically it's like you're like 2.5 games, I guess, behind them if you beat them and y'all play one more time, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like you basically can't lose no motherfucking more, and you gotta hope that they lose like at least 2 times, if not three, and one of those three be to you. So it's like I don't know if that's gonna happen. We might just be looking at that New England taking that division and the Bills having a hopefully wild card in. I was like, I still see the Bills making it to the playoffs, but it's gonna be harder than they thought it would be, and they won't have as great of a seed. And they're definitely probably gonna have to go on the road, and the same bullshit we be seeing in them when they be losing, we probably gonna see from them again in the playoffs. And it's just gonna be like, damn, Josh, we gave you this MVP last year because you did your thing, but a lot of people would argue that Lamar still probably should have won it over you, but that's a whole nother argument. And now it's gonna be like, damn, bro, but you do this shit in the playoffs every motherfucking year. When are you gonna get this shit together? That's what everybody's gonna be at. And I don't want that for Josh. I actually like Josh. Like, he be getting on my fucking nerves when I play him in fantasy because he always loves to just, bro, this motherfucker, he scored 6 touchdowns on my ass last week and then didn't do a shit this week. It's like when I'm not playing him in any, it's like, bro, he always do this shit. Like, I swear, him and Jonathan Taylor, it'd be like, God, anytime either of them motherfuckers scored like 3+ touchdowns, they're playing me in the league. Hands down. Always. They do shitty though, bro, not playing me at all. Like, it's so ridiculous, and I hate both of them for this shit. But it's like, Josh, you don't have to get this shit together, bro, because I'm telling you, dog, another early exit in the play. Like, you gotta at least, like, not even the conference championship. Like, he gotta get to at least the championship now. Like, even if he loses one, which I ain't gonna lie, bro, that's what I've told people before. I was like, people keep wanting Buffalo to get back to the Super Bowl, but you guys don't realize that if Buffalo gets back to the Super Bowl, they have to win that shit, or that'll be their 5th loss. And as a fan base, could you deal with seeing your team get to the Super Bowl 5 times and lose all 5 of them? Like, oh my God. Like, I would feel so bad. Like, I got a homeboy who lives up in Buffalo now. Like, he's by transplant, he's a Buffalo Bills fan. So it's like I definitely go up there and see him and his wife before they move out of there pretty soon in this next year. But so when I go up there, I might try to go up there and hopefully catch a Bills game, depending on when I go. But really, we're just gonna go to Niagara Falls. But yeah, like, him being a transplanted Bills fan, I would feel bad for him if like he watched them get there and be hopeful of them winning the Super Bowl, and then they lose that shit. Like, you guys got to understand how devastated that'll be for the Bills fans and what that'll do to Josh Allen in his career and how their fans see him. Because right now, they see Josh as like, he's really great. Yeah, he be making mistakes at times, but like, he's our guy. Like, we love Josh. That motherfucker goes to a Super Bowl and loses that shit, like doing some of the dumb Josh Allen shit he be kind of doing. Oh boy, they are not gonna believe in his ass at all no more. Cause it's gonna be like, after seeing him struggle so many years to finally get to the Super Bowl, and if they got there and then lose it, it's gonna be like, oh, bro, we don't believe this motherfucker can do it. Like, that's what people are going to start saying. And it's going to be, because right now, I mean, he's lucky he's not getting to the Super, but he's not, because it's like everybody's talking. It's the same kind of with Lamar as well. Like, everybody's starting to talk about Lamar as they should as well. Because it's like, y'all get all these accolades, win all these games, but then when it comes to the playoffs, y'all be getting your ass kicked. And it'd be like, every single year after year. And it's like the farthest you guys have gotten is maybe it's like the conference championship, which is a feat, don't get me wrong. But it's like, after doing that or getting there a couple times and not being able to get over the hump to get to the Super Bowl and win one, it's like, yeah, people got to start having conversations about y'all ass. And I'm just telling you, Lamar and Josh got like this year and maybe next year before those conversations get so fucking loud. But that's just my opinion and what I got to say about the situation. I ain't shit. You ain't got to listen to me or not. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think. Well, I'll be back to give my picks for the Sunday slate of games. Most likely probably tomorrow, or I'll be late with some things sometimes, and it might just honestly be Sunday morning. We shall see how it goes. But Started the week off with a loss, but you know what? That just means we got to go hard on Sunday and on Monday to end off the week and make sure we end with a winning week. Cause I ain't finna go two. I ain't finna go two losing weeks back to back. That ain't how I'm built. All right, y'all. Peace.